So welcome everybody. As Penny said, I'm Allison Reed. I'm the Executive Director of the Linguistic Society of America, and I just wanted to give you a brief report on everything we've been doing on behalf of the membership of the LSA to advance its mission in partnership with all of you, our members, our committee leaders, our executive board of directors, and all of the volunteers that are so active in the life of the society. We couldn't do it without you. And one of our new slogans for marketing the LSA is that we're more than just a meeting. And so part of this report is about highlighting all the things we do beyond what happens at this particular meeting. And so one of the first things I want to talk about was our continuing work as a resource for the linguistics community, offering professional development. And there we are, offering professional development, networking, mentoring, and career advancement services. I'm pleased to announce, and this is also in your packet, we've just launched a new mentoring initiative, which includes pop-up offerings at this conference and a number of other linguistics conferences throughout the year, a new online distance mentoring facility, which is under development, but we're hoping to make available in the early months of this year, special events at the 2019 Linguistic Institute, at UC Davis, and also at this meeting. They're all listed in your program, webinars, and also a new award to recognize outstanding work in the area of mentoring. We've also issued a new statement this year on the evaluation of language documentation for hiring, tenure, and promotion, and we'll be having more follow-up activities around that statement, both in terms of our publishing program as well as the roundtable for department chairs that will take place later at this meeting. We've organized a series of webinars on a variety of topics over the past year, and we're hoping to offer many more, and we welcome your suggestions for webinar topics or speakers if there's something that you're interested in sharing with your colleagues. We've continued our work on the LSA Civility Initiative and had a workshop in Salt Lake City at the last meeting, and we'll have another one, which Penny mentioned, at this meeting, I believe on Saturday. And then finally, we've established a new special interest group on LGBTQ+ issues, and want to make everyone aware that we welcome proposals for other special interest groups on topics of interest to the membership, whether it's based on a demographic characteristic or a subject matter characteristic. Either one is welcome. So moving along, we've also continued our work this year as a funder of student fellowships, travel awards, endowed professorships, and a range of other prestigious professional honors and awards. New this year, we have received generous donations from a variety of the family members of prominent linguists who have passed away. And so I'm very pleased to report we have a new diversity fellowship for students from underrepresented minority or members of representative under, I'm really tripping over this, so it's on the slide. And that was made possible by the family of Warren Cowgill. We've also established a new travel award for a sociolinguistics graduate student to attend the annual meeting, and that's in honor of Elizabeth Pine Dayton, who passed away just earlier in 2018. We have a new annual monetary prize that we've just accepted for a mid-career linguist for excellence in syntax. That's in memory of C.L. Baker. And then finally, an annual lecture at the European Summer School in Language, Logic, and Information in memory of Richard Early. So those are 4 new things just in 1 year. So we're really excited about all of that. And then in addition to that, we also reached our fundraising goals for 2 new student fellowships that were launched a few years ago. So one in honor of Yuki Kuroda and the other one in honor of past LSA President Charles Fillmore. And we'll make the first awards for both of those at the 2019 Davis Institute. We also awarded 14 fellowships this year to students attending Colang at the University of Florida, And at this meeting, 4 travel grants under the auspices of our Committee on Ethnic Diversity to come and participate at this meeting. So a lot happening in that area of the LSA that's brand new, and we're very pleased to share that with all of you. Also, new in our publishing program, which we've had in place since 1925, we've just launched a new journal, Phonological Data and Analysis, and they welcome your submissions. They're hoping to publish articles later this year, the first batch of articles. This is a successor to the phonological analysis section of language that we've been publishing for the past few years now. We also published 2 new titles in our joint series with Routledge, Is English Changing and Why Study Linguistics? And we're also working, we've just signed a new agreement with the organizers of the proceedings of the workshop on Turkic and languages in contact with Turkic to be the publisher of their proceedings. So we're very pleased about that, and we'll be working with them on, I believe, the 4th volume of their proceedings later this year. And then finally, the Semantics Archive, which for many years was hosted at NYU, we completed a successful migration to the LSA website, and we're now hosting that in perpetuity. And we encourage those of you who have semantics papers to submit them to the archive. Also new in our continuing tradition category, we're the primary sponsor of the Biennial Summer Linguistic Institute since 1928 and a co-sponsor of 2 other signature events. So the fellowship application for the 2019 cycle for all of you students who want to go, it should be available within the next week or 2. We are also continuing our co-sponsorship relationship with Colang. And pleased to announce that will be taking place at the University of Montana in 2020. And then finally, we've also continued our support of the Linguistics Olympiad, and we provide financial support for that to enable high school students to participate in what's essentially a linguistics quiz contest and competition. Also new in the area of advocacy, we work on behalf of the profession and the field of linguistics, working to educate and inform a range of influential individuals in the U.S. and internationally. Many of you have already seen a draft version of our proposed statement on race, and we welcome additional comments. I believe comments are open through the next few months. We also co-sponsored the 2nd International March for Science in Washington, D.C. and in other cities around the world to promote policies that are informed by scientific evidence. We issued numerous statements and endorsements, both independently and in collaboration with our colleagues on the issue of NIH clinical trials, and I'd be happy to talk with any of you who want to understand more about what that's referring to. Also on data collection around LGBTQ scientific populations within NSF, climate change and its impact on language, and then finally we continue our advocacy work on funding for linguistics, both at the National Science Foundation and other federal agencies. We are also pleased to continue our work on Native American language revitalization. Unfortunately, this Congress wrapped up without taking action on the House side on this particular bill, but we had unanimous bipartisan approval of this legislation in the Senate late last year in 2017. And so we're very hopeful that in this new Congress, where the Democrats have control of the House, that we'll be able to enjoy the same level of bipartisan support that we saw on the Senate side. We also successfully defended the National Endowment for the Humanities, which is a major funder of linguistics research, from the elimination, the complete and total elimination that had been proposed by the Trump administration. And so I'm very proud of that. And we did not do that alone. We did that with help from all of you, writing letters, contacting members of Congress, but also our alliances with colleague organizations and our involvement with the National Humanities Alliance. And then finally, we conducted an advocacy webinar, which is the recording is available on our website to help linguists get more involved in the policy arena and how they can be most effective in communicating advocacy concerns to a policy audience. Other news this year, Penny mentioned the International Year of Indigenous Languages. We've been doing a lot of planning work in collaboration with SILA, and tonight's kickoff event, we hope you'll all attend and get involved with activities at your campus and throughout the year. We've continued our social media work. Our audience is now about 40,000 people on Facebook and over 20,000 followers on Twitter. So that's, exponentially larger than the LSA membership. So we really do have a very broad reach. And please send us your news that you would like us to share on social media. We're happy to do that. And then finally, we've been doing more linguistic expositions and science fairs and other kinds of events in partnership with the Language Science for Everyone group, and we're pleased to be involved with AAAS's Family Science Days events this past year. We've also quite active in other linguistic conferences and events. I already mentioned the International Year. We're welcoming a new sister society to the LSA this year. We've also continued this 5-Minute Linguist event that has been so popular and that Penny mentioned. And then finally, we're continuing our sponsorship of the Conference on Semantics and Linguistic Theory. So in addition to all that new stuff, some great ongoing things. We're planning for our centennial in 2024, which will also be at this hotel in New York. And so we're very much looking forward to that. We invite you all to get involved in planning for our centennial. We've had an ad hoc strategic planning committee meeting this past year to develop a new 5-year long-range plan, and we'll be releasing that very soon for member comment and engagement. As you know, we had a very successful meeting in Salt Lake City. We've increased our readership for our flagship journal, Language, and we continue to do regular news releases about the latest research that we are sponsoring, either presenting at our meeting or presenting in our publications, and we get a lot of media uptake for all of that as well. So again, things that we continue to do that we just wanted to let everyone know about. I'm going to try to wrap this up quickly. So in conclusion, we're more than just a meeting. If you're not already a member of the LSA, please become a member and help support all the good work we're doing. If you already are a member, please consider becoming a lifetime member. You can buy your way into that, and it's actually it's a real deal if you do it when you're younger. Or you could make a charitable donation. We always welcome your contributions that support our student fellowships and all the other great work we do throughout the year, or serve on a committee. That's another way you can get involved without any kind of financial commitment. And we also encourage you to take action on behalf of the policy and advocacy issues that we're working on so actively, because we cannot do that alone. So please join me in sharing the good news with all of your colleagues and friends who couldn't be at this meeting, that we're much more than just an annual meeting. Thank you.